Tonight, JEEEZZA looks to get back-to-back wins in SFR. ConstantRyan has his second chance of winning the driver's title. Semper probably spins at turn 4. And we have a new driver at Haas. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SFR Season 4, Round 18, here from Spain. My name is KieranWright92. I am your lead commentator for this evening's festivities. And, hopefully, we should be able to hear him. You should be able to see him in the lobby as well. He is, of course, my partner in crime. He is my co-commentator here in SFR. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, TeS Swayze. Good evening, Swayze.
Good evening, Kieran. Thank you for that introduction. The ringmaster for tonight's event here in Spain, of course. Looking forward to it?
Yeah, definitely. We should be hopefully in for a good race. I know it's not one of your most favoured tracks, mate, but hopefully we can get some entertaining racing to prevent you from wanting to cry.
That is very, very true. but of course, I am not actually forced to sit there in the car tonight and drive it, so I will grin and bear it, and I'm sure the action provided on the track, hopefully by this amazing bunch of drivers, will see me through quite happily.
That's what we are hoping. So, as you guys heard in the Top Gear style intro that I did with about 30 seconds left before the timer ran out, this is, of course, the second chance, that ConstantRyan has of wrapping up the Drivers' Championship. To do that, he needs to outscore Vapid Coupe by 15 points this evening. He scores 15 points more than Vapid Coupe. ConstantRyan will be crowned your Drivers' Champion here in Season 4 of SFR. If not, then it carries on to next week in Baku.
I hope it does, to be honest. You know, obviously, it's not that I don't want Ryan to win the championship. It's just that, you know, the longer it goes, the better it is for us, isn't it?
It is indeed. And as I also said in the intro, we have got a new driver. We have Matty7 Gamer making his debut for the Haas team this evening. He will be teaming up with Papa Goose. So Papa Goose now has a partner in the Haas team in Matty7 Gamer. So when Swayze and I comment on him, it will be just Matty. We will refer to him as. Cam is in chat. I will make it go on to the next race. Go on, Cam. Cam with a confidence there. The link is also there in chat.
Like it.
If you want to get involved in the Discord, guys, Discord server is there in chat if you guys do want to get involved. You may have also seen that some of the sound alert fees have been increased. That was a decision made by TeS Leclerc. He felt that they were a little bit too low. Obviously, we wanted to just leave them at a low number for the first couple of weeks so you guys could get used to using them. And then, of course, we have bumped.
Hi, I'm stupid.
There is the I am stupid by Mr. Warder. Good evening, G. I hope you are well, my friend. But what we will quickly do, whilst we're waiting for the guys to get themselves into the lobby, we are about 8 minutes away from qualifying here in Spain. We have got a full quali. We have got 15 drivers confirmed. The potential, in fact, we will have 16 if everyone jumps in, because Kirby is in the lobby. Kirby was tentative before the lobby opened, so we should, all being well, have 16 cars, which means we will have 3 full qualifying sessions where we will lose driver's choice.
Good. It always adds that extra element of a different strategy, having full qualifying available. I much more enjoy it because you never know. It can throw that extra element into the race. So yeah, looking forward to that, definitely. It's nice to have it back again.
It should be, yes. 2 weeks in a row now that we have had full qualifying back. What we'll do, whilst we're waiting for the guys to get themselves into the lobby, we'll have a quick look at those championship standings. And as you can see, the gap at the top is 38 points between ConstantRyan and Vapid Coot. If ConstantRyan scores 15 points and Vapid Coot fails to score, the season will be over with 2 races to go. Vapid needs to keep the gap between him and ConstantRyan to, at worst, 52 points. Because that will keep it alive for another week.
And it's a big ask. Obviously, we've seen Cam in the chat tonight saying he's going to take the fight that much further for us, but Ryan's been absolutely on fire this season, and I can only feel like he's going to want to be looking for a strong performance tonight after the way Canada went for him last week.
Yeah, Canada probably not one of ConstantRyan's best races. I'm sure he will probably be the first one to admit that. Was a little bit unlucky with some of the incidents that happened in last week's race. If you haven't watched it yet, it is available on the SFR YouTube channel. If you go onto YouTube and you just search Supreme Formula Racing, you will be able to find the YouTube channel. Whilst you're over there, consider dropping a sub over there as well. We're trying to build a community on the YouTube channel. All of our races will be uploaded onto the YouTube channel after the race has finished here tonight. On to the constructors. The constructors looking very, very tasty. I don't know whether you've actually seen how close it is at the top of the constructors race, but it's 10 points to separate AlphaTauri and McLaren at the top of that driver standings.
I mean, it's good news for AlphaTauri though. I mean, especially with JEEEZZA back in that, I believe he is back in that car now, isn't he?
He is back in that car,
with,
yes.
with Leclerc. Yeah, you see, and he come back and he won last week, and if you can do that again, then Leclerc always won as well. So I know Vapid, in the McLaren has been running really well. So it's all going to come down to Vapid's teammate, whichever. Does he have one at the moment?
Vapid's teammate is normally Sainz. Of course, unfortunately, Sainz is on the other side of the world. Sainz is our Australian brother, another member of the admin team here in SFR. So, of course, these races are about 5 o'clock in the morning for him, I believe. So it's a little bit early in the morning for young Sainz to get involved in the racing here in SFR. That is a little bit disappointing from that prospect. But, I mean, Vapid seems to have held his own pretty well this season as well. He's been able to keep that title. He's been able to keep that title fight going, which is what we like to see. We've just got Dom the Noodle jumps in now into that AlphaTauri. I think we're just waiting for one more driver. I think that last driver we are waiting for is Papa Goose. Yeah, we've got 15 in at the moment. We should have 16. So if we move back over to the live stream so you guys can see everyone. This is the man that we are all talking about. ConstantRyan 181 in the Williams. The man who, for the second week in a row, has the chance to wrap up the Drivers' Championship here in Season 4 of SFR. But to do that, he needs to have the drive of his life, and he needs to outscore Vapid by 15 points. To give you guys a little bit of an idea of what that means, if ConstantRyan wins the race, Vapid needs to finish 10th or worse. If that happens, the season is over. So that's the easiest way of putting it. ConstantRyan wins the race tonight. Vapid needs to finish top 5 to continue this season on to Azerbaijan and Baku next week. Will that happen, Swayze?
That's all true and everything. But, you know, with the remaining amount of races, I mean, if he really wants to challenge Ryan, he not only needs to finish within, he needs to be beating Ryan in the remaining 3 races if he's got any chance at taking this championship, I think.
He does indeed. I think if Vapid doesn't win tonight, I think we can pretty much say
it's Friday
that
then. It's Saturday, Sunday. What?
It'll be
It's
very, very
Friday
tough
then.
for
Saturday, Sunday. What?
for Vapid to come back and win the championship. Mr. Carbon Gaming TV with the follow. Thank you for the follow, Mr. Carbon Gaming TV. Welcome in to SFR. I hope you are well. And as Jamie says, if you want to jump in, we have got space. If you want to make it a 17-car grid, we've got a 16-car grid at the moment. Your wonderful presence would make it 17 if you do want to jump in and say hello to the world of SFR once again. For those who don't know who Mr. Carbon Gaming TV is, he is the man otherwise known as Alpaca Carbon. And if you guys remember that battle in Brazil, that battle in Brazil when Swayze came back to SFR after taking a little bit of time away, and they put on an absolute show for you, Swayze.
They did. It was a brilliant race, that one. One of the better races of the season, I think, that one.
Oh, we seem to have lost. We had a casualty. I think we have. We're down to 14 drivers. Who are we missing? Who are we missing? Got 2 AlphaTauris, 2 Renaults, 2 Mercedes, 2 Haas, and 1 Haas at the moment. 2 Racing Points. 2 Alphas.
Is there a McLaren? I don't think there's a single McLaren in there.
We don't have Vapid. Vapid has disappeared. He was in the lobby earlier. I know he was in the lobby earlier because I saw him in the lobby.
You see, it's because you've been putting all this pressure on him pre-race. That's why.
Well, look, we've got to put that pressure on him, Swayze. You know that. We've got to put the pressure on him. He knows he's under pressure.
Well,
waiting on Vapid and Goose. I thought it was Vapid and Goose. Thank you, Mr. Semper. Oh, unfortunately, Carbon is out at the moment. I mean, we'll definitely be watching. We appreciate you watching, Carbon. We do appreciate that. Here, Mr. Papa Goose is in the building now. We're just waiting for Vapid, and then we're good to go.
I know, as you say, Vapid is under pressure, but is at this moment in time now ConstantRyan under a lot more pressure, do you think? I mean, surely now, at this point, it's expected of him now to win. So if he doesn't, you know, it's a lot more pressure on his shoulders to do it because it's expected from where he is in the championship.
Yeah, there's definitely that aspect of it. ConstantRyan has led for the majority of the season. Vapid is just joining back. His Xbox switched off. Rip. How many races left in the season? This is the 3rd to last race of the season. Carbon, we have got Baku and Great Britain left. What I'll do is I'll quickly chuck the championship standings up on screen so you can have a look at those championship standings and just see how close it actually is up at the top. 38 points is currently the gap separating ConstantRyan and Vapid So, as we say, if ConstantRyan was to outscore Vapid by 15 this evening, that would wrap up the Drivers' Championship for him.
I mean, crazy things happen in the races here. Look what happened last week at Canada. I mean, they may be okay at the start, but at the pit window, once the leaders, you know, they come out into that traffic, anything can happen from that point onwards.
Indeed, anything can happen in Formula One, and it most probably will. Those old famous lines from the late great Murray Walker being mirrored here by myself here in SFR, just waiting for Vapid to be able to get himself back in the lobby, and then we will get ourselves underway. 3 qualifying sessions here in Spain. Q1, we will lose the driver that finishes at the bottom of the timing screens, so 16th place will leave us. We will then have Q2, where we lose another 5 drivers, and then our top 10 shootout for Q3 to decide who will start where at this Spanish Grand Prix. Whilst we're waiting for Vapid to come in, Mr. Swayze, let's do our predictions that we like to do each week. We'll start with the realistic prediction first, and then just before the race, we'll go for the crazy one.
I mean, is Vapid back in?
Vapid is
We
back.
already not. It's hard to bet. I can tell you, each week it's hard to bet against ConstantRyan. Something crazy might happen. I don't know. JEEEZZA was driving really nice. We know Cam has the potential. Cam was feeling confident in the chat earlier. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna go with it. Let's go with Cam tonight. Cam for the win.
There we go. Swayze says Cam for the win. I am gonna say JEEEZZA goes back to back. I think JEEEZZA's
Even what?
got it in him to go back to back.
I'd happily take either, to be honest.
So as you can see, guys, we are now loading into qualifying. This is Q1 of 3. Oh, F1XL. So Gareth is in the chat saying big will to win. Semper is predicting himself for a DNF. Cam has said thanks for the pressure, Swayze. Look, blame Swayze, Cam, not me. It was Swayze that's got you for the win, mate. So I said JEEEZZA.
Well, feeling it.
Oh, Water has also said Cam to win. The F1XL account is saying Big Will. And Water is saying Cam. There we go. So we're just waiting for JEEEZZA. Come on, JEEEZZA. I'm sure he just upgraded to a brand new Xbox. We shouldn't be having these load times for JEEEZZA. Oh well. It's fine.
I tell you what, you know, far out there predictions. Looking at the other week, I don't think it's too far out there, but Kislesko was running well until he got that little bit of damage, wasn't he? He had some really quick times on him. He's been running well in qualifying of recent, so maybe he can get in the mix again tonight.
Hopefully. I mean, yes, you did mention it there, because Lesko has some fantastic qualifying pace. And last week, I think he really shone and was able to show that he is able to back up that qualifying pace in the race. And unfortunately, things just didn't go his way last week. He got a little bit damaged towards the end of the race, and it did unfortunately affect him. It did cause him to, I think, was gain a penalty and drop down a couple of positions, which did cost him the win versus JEEEZZA. But I can see Kislesko jumping back, coming back up to form here. I think this is going to be more of a redemption drive for Kislesko than anything. I think he's got a point to prove. He wants to prove that he can keep with the big boys, so to speak. So we shall see what happens as we are loading in to Q1 here in Spain. 16 drivers on the grid. The driver at the bottom of those timing screens at the end of the 17.5 minutes will be leaving us, and we'll be watching the rest of qualifying from their setups. Interestingly,
Definitely.
Cam, I really hope Cam has remembered this is a full quali and is looking to go out on those medium tyres.
Maybe he doesn't want to use them in the second part. Who knows? But I can tell you one thing. Our resident dancer, Mr. Vapid Coop, who does his rain dance every week at the moment, must have wore a hole in them to try and get it to rain here at Spain, but it doesn't look like it's going to prevail.
Doesn't look to have any rain. I'm sure some of the guys in, some of the drivers who are in the lobby will be able to confirm whether we have got rain. But I think this could be a week where Vapid rain dance doesn't work. Leclerc has
you
confirmed.
may as well confirm there's matadors in Spain.
Leclerc has confirmed dry throughout. So unfortunately, for Mr. Vapid Coot, his rain dance hasn't worked this week. And he's going to have to try and do it in the dry. Vapid, as we know, a driver who is very, very strong in wet conditions. He is equally strong in the dry, but the wet is definitely where Vapid comes to his own. As we're coming on board with Fuck UJ, who is going to be the first person to cross the line and set a time here in qualifying.
You're damn right. Sorry, Kieran.
Yeah.
Agreeing with F1XL there in the chat. You're damn right, you can't trust the Codemasters game.
Jeez, it's a Codemasters game, you cannot trust it. Very, very nice line here. We're right on board with Fuck UJ as he comes through sector 1 here.
Yeah, switchy, the wheel is there. Definitely looks like he's a pad user. You can actually tell the difference when you ride on board sometimes between a pad user and a wheel user, just in the way that the computer moves with the hands.
I can confirm that Jake is indeed a pad user. I know there were conversations in the Discord earlier asking for a little bit of advice from a certain Vapid Coop, because of course he does also drive on pad, in terms of just trying to get some settings sorted out on the wheel. Hopefully that has helped Jake. We'll see how he goes on in qualifying here, coming up through this right and now towards the end of the lap. Got a yellow flag in sector 2. Ooh, someone's gone off. Someone has gone a little bit sideways. I'm not sure who that was. We'll try and have a look and work out who that is in just a second. Clark UJ crosses the line, a 17.3. Who was that?
There's a big wheel, man.
It was KieranWright92 who had a little bit of an issue there. Going down the straight on the run to Lacacia, which is turn 10 here in Spain. Papa Goose goes pole, well, provisional pole with a 16.9. Sambo comes in, Don the Noodle, 16.8. Sambo comes in with an 18.6 and Big Will with an 18.8. Those are your times so far. Ooh, Matty has had a bit of a moment there. Matty on debut in the Haas. He got damage on that car. Let's see if we can find. I think he may have some damage on that car. He has got damage on that car.
Well, you just have to keep out of the way. Keep out of the way, get it back to the pit, and go out again.
Yeah, luckily he is in sector 3, so he will be able to bring that car into the pits. And we'll hopefully be able to nurse that back. Hungarian does go P4. Oh, mate. Oh, no, Matty!
You wanted to say it, didn't you? Oh, he's in sector 3. He'll be able to nurse that back. Literally. Bang.
Oh,
that is a blink game for that one. You're a commentator.
Hashtag commentator's curse.
Come on, man. That was bang on cue, right?
Hashtag commentator's curse in chat. Oh, dearie me. Let's see what KieranWright92 can get up to here. Don Noodle goes even faster, a 16.4. See what KieranWright92 can get up to as he comes around the final few corners. Copper's just gone. Maddie for pole. Oh, wait. KieranWright92 16.1 goes fastest in Q1. Oh, Maddie is not happy. He's in chat. Maddie is not happy. Unlucky, mate. See what Kirby is going to get up to. Wait, Dom the Noodle is quick. Apparently so, F1XL. Apparently so. Apparently so.
I mean, I didn't play a lot of time on there, but I did find that there was a dramatic difference on this game for myself when it came to driving between preset and a custom.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't know if that's the reason why Dom may appear quicker than what he was on a Sunday.
Quite potentially. Quite potentially. Semper is going a little bit slowly there. I think he was waiting for, yeah, he was waiting for a car to come out of the pit, so that's going to affect his lap time, unfortunately. Oh wait, no, wait, no, I know what he's doing. I know exactly what he's doing. He's going to do what he did in Canada, Swayze. Semper is going to do what he did in Canada, and he's going to drive around as slowly as he possibly can to get the slowest possible lap time, because he knows that Matty has unfortunately crashed out of the session, so will be starting at the back. Exactly what he did in Canada.
But if he bins it on a run and manages to survive, but like, you know, goes sideways for quite a bit, takes some serious drag out of the tyres, he's going to have this spare setter that is only rolled around the track on at slow speed. So it's not bad.
It is very, very true.
Back up past that, just in case.
Yeah, they will be slightly scrubbed, so... Expect Semper's lap time to be something in the region of about 3 minutes here, chat. I'm not gonna...
So whose won't be? JEEEZZA's. Oh, snap moment of oversteer there. I was just about to say he's just started a flying lap, but I think that's just ended it rather sharpish.
Yeah.
Looks like Tom Boren's on a flying lap though at the moment.
Jump onto Tom Gorin then. He is 6/10 down at the moment on his time. Coming through sector 3 as he approaches a very slow moving Semper.
His fuel light is flashing. Yeah, he is bailing out of it, yeah.
Comes into the pits. Sambo's on an outlap.
Sambo. I thought he was on the grass when I looked.
Will on his way out. JEEEZZA is saving fuel. Let's go and see what time he crosses the line with.
I think Cam might be on that.
Crosses the line. 2 minutes 19.669 by second.
Well, I didn't see sector 1, but sector 2 was purple for Cam.
Let's jump down to Mr. WRS Camman. We know that
That's a very interesting line there.
Slowly. See what Cam can do as he comes around the final corner. Around Catalunya on the run up to the line. Goes pole. Drops into the 15s.
No. Nice time for the Mercedes driver there. See, the big boys are still in the pit at the moment. JEEEZZA's going to go again after making his turn 1 mistake.
Let's jump up to JEEEZZA. I think he's the only person on a... I think it's the most advanced person on a...
Big lock up.
Indeed. There's a pretty large lock up there. Sambo's behind JEEEZZA.
Oh, JEEEZZA's invalidated.
Ooh, dear, he has. Indeed. Very simple, slow moving car. Go up to Mr. TeS Sambo then. I think Sambo's going to be the next car. He has not invalidated his lap time yet. He is 8/10, nearly 8.5 tenths up. He's gone purple in sector 2. See whether Sambo can get this sector 3 lined up well.
That's a very nice line through there. Very nice exit.
Final chicane now for Sambo.
Ooh,
little snap as he comes off there. He's able to hold it pretty well. Run up to the line now for Sambo. P6.
I think he must have actually got 2 attempts though with that kicker over there. What else do we got coming up very well?
Just started a hot lap. This is the only one we've got. Oh, we've got Will. That is on a hot lap. Where is Mr. Will? Here he is. 1% wear on that set of tyres. Really bad. See what Mr. Big Wee can get up to. 17.7 for Big Will. Not for P7. All of the 7s. So, Swayze. Cam has just come into the chat and gone, that was a poor lap from me, definitely more time to find. You've put in a 15.9, Cam.
I mean, how much more time do you think? So what we're going to be seeing, maybe people push 15.5?
Maybe. Maybe.
Or just cam that magic man who can.
Maybe. Possibly. The last 6.5 minutes.
We'll find out. It looks like Vapid is out on track and just started a flying lap.
Swayze was right. Now I have extra tyres. You do indeed, Mr. Centre. You do indeed. Whoa! Whoa! Dom the New. Big fight with the car. Coming through Catalunya there. Woo! That was potentially a brown trousers moment there from Mr. Dom the New.
That's very, very, very nice.
Bristow with Rapid behind. So Bristow's going to be the next person across the line. I missed some corners, didn't get them right. Fair enough. Oh, Christo and Valex. Let's see what Rapid does. Cam retired from the session with 6 minutes to go. He knows that he is safe.
Vapid's moving.
Rapid is definitely on a charge.
It was purple 1, purple 2.
Let's see what he can do.
Jazz is just in front of him now.
Moves
Out of the way nice and early. Yeah, well, good awareness there from Jazza.
Big Will retires from the session and Rapid 2 comes round Catalunya now, the final corner. On the run up to the line, is he going to put it on provisional pole? You bet he is. 15-4. 15-4. Twice.
That is, yeah.
If
I did say 15-5 a minute ago.
Yeah, but if Vapid's putting in 15-4s, what the hell's
I know what you're
ConstantRyan
going to
going to
say.
do?
I knew you were going to say that. You're about to find out because he has just left the garage to warm up his tyres for his outlet. Along with TeS Leclerc, who has just started his hot lap as well.
Yeah, we'll jump on board with Leclerc. See what he does. We'll go with a broadcast camera, because we do seem to sit on TV pod just a little bit too much. So we'll go to the broadcast camera and give you guys some more camera angles as this AlphaTauri goes purple in sector 1. Potentially get a little bit of traffic though. Coming through sector 3. He might be alright though, thinking about it, looking at the track map.
And Vapid dealt quite well with the traffic. He had quite a little bit.
Yeah. We'll go up around the long, fast, sweeping right-hander. DRS
All
open from
commitment.
Leclerc. Full send as he comes into sector 3 now. Goes purple in sector 2. Let's see what Leclerc is able to do. Can he get in touch with Vapid's 15-4, which currently tops the timing screens here in Q1. We will unfortunately lose Matty from the session at the end of Q1. But Leclerc comes up to the line, 15-7 by Leclerc.
Sector 3.
And that is P2. And we'll now jump to the speed demon himself, Mr. ConstantRyan.
I think he's bailed on this lap already.
Yeah, he looks to be going slowly. I think he knows that he can, yeah, he's not got any ERS being used at the moment, so I think he's just coasting around, just getting a lap on the board. Obviously knowing that putting a lap time on the board will get him through. Doesn't matter how fast or slow that lap time is. Potentially not wanting to show his full hand yet, Swayze?
Not just yet. As Kirby flying into the pits, I don't know. I guess maybe he was just waiting for the track to clear up in front of him. He's got a lot of clear air now, so no traffic in front.
He has
he's
just,
going to go for it.
Yeah, he has just whacked it back up to hot lap mode, so this could be the one for ConstantRyan. Matty's in chat. Thanks for reminding me, mate. Look, I'm a commentator. I've got to do it, Matty. We did unfortunately lose Matty. He is going to start from P16.
How ConstantRyan uses the track. Migrating host on my screen, it says.
Yeah, I've got migrating host too. Leclerc has left the session. It's not ideal. I think that now means that Mr. Big Will be the host of the session. Hopefully Will's internet doesn't have a dump. And we should be all good. See what ConstantRyan does, going up the hill now. towards turn 9. Nice sweeping corner there. He goes. Oh, did he invalidate?
No, I'm on board
Just-
with him. He's good. He put his purple as well.
Just kept it. But that was really close to an invalidation.
Come
I
on
think.
board. I've been watching it all the way through this lap, and you know, just like he did at previous tracks, look at it there, look, 3/4 of that car is virtually running that curve the entire way down. He's using all of the track available to extract the most amount of speed he possibly can.
And here we go, runs up to the line. 14.9, Swayze.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
And that's that.
I've just had a text message from Mr. Leclerc. He's had to reboot his Wi-Fi, so will hopefully be with us again shortly. Vapid retires from the session. We'll just wait for these guys to come in. I would assume, I wouldn't be surprised if you see all of these drivers when they come into the pits just retiring.
Cam, there's corners that you missed, and you know, there's bits that you were on about finding. I hope it amounts to a second, mate, because, yeah. yeah, exactly, mate. You're fucked.
There is the line from Cam. He's just seen ConstantRyan's lap time and gone, well, I'm in trouble.
That is quite an astounding lap time, but honestly, when you watch him from on board on the T-Cam, his driving lines is how smooth he is. He's just on another level compared to the other drivers at the moment.
Yeah, he is a very, very strong driver, is ConstantRyan. We're waiting for these guys to come into the pits now. So ConstantRyan and JEEEZZA is the other car out on track. He's coming through the chicane now. ConstantRyan retires from the session. We'll just wait for JEEEZZA to do the same, and that will then bring us to the end of Q1 here in Barcelona.
Well. After you, Jim.
Is there anything there that surprised you, Swayze? In terms of lap times and things like that?
I don't know if we can expect more from JEEEZZA. I think he invalidated a few runs. I think I would expect him to at least be matching Jamie, or TeS Leclerc, should I say. You know, I know he has that speeding potential in him. So
Just
Tom Gorin, we've seen him further up as well.
Yep.
So that's a bit.
To give you guys an idea of just how fast that lap time was from ConstantRyan, obviously, yes, this is a game, this is a simulation game. However, at this year's Spanish Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton put it on pole with a time of 1:16.741. In this lobby, that would have been enough for P9. That just gives you an idea of how fast these guys actually are when it comes to custom setups.
Or the inaccuracy of Codemaster's track timings.
It's also quite fun. I did just notice that, Semper. Don't know whether you noticed that then, Swayze, in that Q1 in the Q1 run up there. Apparently, Cam set his time on no tyres. There was actually no tyre compound shown on Cam's car there when he actually set that time. So
you see,
fair play, Cam.
It was said in chat earlier on. You know,
doing that.
Can't trust Codemasters.
No, but I mean, Cam setting that lap time on rims. Fair play, mate. Fair play, mate.
Well, you have to with Max Verstappen around. Have you seen all those memes? Just kicking everything off.
Yep. There we go. So this is the one that somewhat matters for the guys in the top 10. For those who get through into Q3, whichever tyre they set their fastest lap time on in this session is the tyre they will start the race on. Jake, first one out on the medium tyre. Let's get the lap data up so people can see what sort of lap time people are setting. I think what we'll do is we will ride on the broadcast camera with Fuck You Jay, and as he is vastly more experienced than I am in the world of Spain, I will let Mr. TeS Swayze take you on a lap of this Catalonia circuit as we ride on board with Car QJ as he starts his lap. Over to you, Swayze.
Me, yeah, because I know the names of the corners around here, but you got to make FarQJ hopes to make that lap first, because he was just in the grass then trying to get a bit of heat into those medium tyres on this outlap. Hopefully he can make it around to give us this tour of there, and over there, because that's what it's going to be. But of course he is coming around the final corner now. You see, I think he took too much weaving there. He needed to start extracting a bit more speed and get that exit for the... You can lose so much time if you get a bad exit on that final corner, because it's such a long run down that straight to turn 1. High on that curb there in the inside, that you've got to be careful on there. It can throw the car. Very easy to spin yourself out in that corner. Quite a long right-hander. You get on the throttle a little bit later than you think. You get on too early, you end up on the gravel out wide. I do like this part of the track, but I'm not too keen on this chicane going up the hill. Has a tendency to upset the balance of the car. This corner, down change of gear, flat out, using the inside curb, throw it all the way around. It's got to be fully committed into the DRS, all the way down into the hairpin corner, hard on the brake. This corner again, another tendency there with a camber change to want to upset the car, another danger point to watch out for. I really don't like this part of the track. Absolutely boring, waste of time, kills the end of the circuit. Done with it. They should have just opened that up and let racing be racing instead of that shit.
Here it is, 16.8 by FarQJ. So that's the time to beat here in qualifying in Q2. And that, ladies and gentlemen, gives you a bit of an insight into the Barcelona circuit from the thought process of Mr. Swayze. As Dom Noodle goes in with a 16.9, also on those medium tyres. Got yellow flag in sectors 2 and 3 as drivers are getting caught up with one another. The game going to let us do what I want it to do. There we go.
Well, the only reason it was put in the first place was to try and slow the cars down for how much speed they were carrying round onto the start-finish straight. But when they killed the speed, they killed the racing and the flow.
Yep, we've had KieranWright92 coming in with a 27.6, Tom Gorian with a 19.3 on softs, Big Will a 17.7 on mediums. We've got Maddie in chat, Cam goes fastest, 16 dead on those medium tyres. See what Papa Goose is up to. He's the next person to potentially set on the lap time. I think the Fleur is behind. Yeah, I think the Fleur's just starting the lap time. So. Maddie's in chat, I don't like the walls at this track. I'm sure you don't, mate. I'm sure you don't. We'll ride on board with your teammate, Mr. Papa Goose.
16.01, if you didn't see it there from Cam on the mediums.
Yeah, very, very good time there by Cam. We'll see what Papa Goose can get up to as he crosses the line, goes P5 with a 1:17.846 on those soft tyres.
I'm going also on the softs, Kirby on the softs at the moment. The Clerk's out on track on the softs.
He is indeed.
So, we do have a split at the moment.
With Leclerc going out on soft, do you think he's worried he's not going to get through to Q3? Or do you think this is a banker?
I mean, we'll see how much he slows it down towards the end of Sector 3.
See now, he is in Sector 3. He's in that Sector 3 that Swayze was just talking about. See if he does slow this car down. Run up to the line.
It's a banker.
The
Banker. He did a 15.7 in Q1. So definitely he knows. He's just put the time in there that he knows he can be on the mediums. Because if he goes too fast too early on the softs, it's going to not leave him that option to be able to run the mediums. Whereas the medium runners who have gone out on the mediums first know they can go faster on the softs.
pitch because Lesko is on a hot lap. Noodle from the Noodle is very much on an in lap. Because Lesko could be on for a hot lap? No, I don't think so. He is going slowly. It's going to be the end of Kizlesko for now. Gregorian comes into the pit. We'll just jump and just double check with Kizlesko. Yep, indeed he does come into the pit. Vapid Q is on an...
He's just about to start, yeah.
Semper has invalidated. It's not going to help him in any way. Jump up to Leclerc, who we're going to assume is going to come into the pits. No, Leclerc's going to go out again. He's actually looking to set another lap time here. 18.6 from Leclerc on softs. He has gone for a double run on those soft tyres.
I think he means he's going to ditch them for sure. I mean, we know Cam's in the 16s on the mediums, so we know Leclerc can get into the 15s on those softs. I definitely feel that we may see him start on the medium tyre this race.
We shall see. On the note of people on lap times who we know can go fast, Vapid Q has just come through sector 2. He's currently on purple in sector 2.
He purple one as well. I've been on board with him throughout the entirety of this lap, and it's been looking pretty pacey. A bit deep there.
Medium tyres does go a little bit deep. And now through Catalonia, the final corner here in Spain.
Really smooth, nice exit speed.
16.014, 13 thousandths of a second slower than as it stands.
Not much in it between them, and Kizlesko's not too far back himself at the moment. Who else can get up there on those medium tyres? Of course, JEEEZZA is out there on a lap on them as well.
He is just looking to see where everyone is. Christo is there. Christo is invalidated actually. Samo's just starting a lap. Semper is out on another hot lap. He is also invalidated. So let's see. Big. Where's Kirby? Kirby's just gone 23.5. So I think Kirby is actually up on his time at the moment. He's 9/10 up as stands. So this could be an improvement from Kirby. I think JEEEZZA is going to be the next one to cross the line though and set a lap time.
I think he just shot himself.
Let's see what JEEEZZA can do. Coming through sector 3 now.
He had a purple sector 1, but a really poor sector 2.
See what this Alpha Tower can get up to. Comes through the final chicane. Rounds the final corner. Run up to the line now for JEEEZZA. Crosses the line with a 16.662. That's enough for P5. Jump and see what Kirby can get up to. Kirby is going massively faster at the moment. Kirby comes in with a 17.6. Jumps his teammate. That is currently Kirby in P8.
Not bad there for Renault.
Here we go.
Right next to each other.
Here we go. Just over 5 minutes left in the session. And ConstantRyan is out on track.
Yes, he is. He is just coming into the final corner to start his flying lap. Look how early he gets the throttle down. So, like I said, I mean, early on we saw with FarQJ just weaving a bit too much, not concentrating on where he was on track to get that exit speed. ConstantRyan, very rare. Look how high he goes up onto the curb. This is what I said to his full usage of the track. Look at it. It extracts as much speed as he possibly can through that sector 1 there. He's so quick.
That is what he says, just holding those curves as much as he can, trying to get as much of that track as he possibly can use. Given the
Car looks so stable while he's doing it. Oh, that traffic is aware.
There's traffic in the form of Semper. Stick to the left. Ryan's going to utilise that DRS and go around him. 49.3 for the second sector. Strong that time so far by ConstantRyan. On the limit
gear
there.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
on
was
the
about to say
limit
he held
there,
it
he's
in
coming
gear
through
for
there.
a little bit longer.
See what he can do now though, coming around. Ooh,
Ooh.
little snap there as he comes around the final corner. Is that going
I
to
was
affect
going
his
to
lap
just
time?
about to... It is not.
It's not going to affect his lap time. 15.3 by ConstantRyan. Puts him top of
was
the
just gonna
timing
say-
screen.
His car looks so comfortable as well. When you know when I say he's using all the track and how far he's running down the curve, it doesn't seem to want to let loose. It runs the curve so well. It looks so planted at the moment, that car. Apart from just then, obviously, when he had that little moment. Before that, quite well planted.
Yeah, definitely. Let's jump to Mr. Leclerc. See what Jamie is getting up to. Comes around turn 9. Is on a hot lap. Has got his BRS open on the run up to Lacacia in turn 10. Got a yellow flag in sector 2, and it's just got the cars getting stuck behind one another. Not what you want, really. I think it's Papa Goose on an outlap, and ConstantRyan potentially coming back into the pit. See what Leclerc does. Leclerc is on the medium tyre now. We'll see what sort of lap time Leclerc can set. There it is. 15.8 by Leclerc. And that is P2. Drops Big Will into the drop zone.
It's a good time from TeS Leclerc.
See what Semper can do. Can Semper get himself out of Q2? An 18.4. I think he may have validated first.
Quite possible. I mean, he hasn't got time to go in and change tyres. He's got to do a lap
Yeah,
on these set of tyres
yeah,
now.
he's
So
gonna
does
go
Christo.
Interestingly, Kirby retires from the session in P10 in the danger zone. So Kirby could drop out of Q2 here.
His teammate is out on track.
And Will only needs to make a tenth of a second and he will jump Kirby for P10.
Papa Goose is not that far behind either.
No, it could be a double drop of position here for TM Kirby, so we will keep an eye on it. Christo's coming through the final chicane now. And the run up to the line is a valid lap time at the moment for Christo in the Soul Red Bull. Oh, runs wide out the final corner though. That is an invalidation, so Christo is going to have to go again. Don't know whether he's realised.
Struggling
Christo
in
is
this
going to go
session.
without setting a time. Semper, I think, is going to do a similar thing. There's no way Semper's going to get out in time. So we'll see what Papa Goose is able to do. Papa Goose goes P9. Big Will
That
is
is
3
Kirby
tenths up.
out.
Big Will currently 3 tenths up on his time. This could put Sambo out. Sambo now the driver at risk. A 17.3 is the time that Will needs to improve on. Big Will run up to the line now. Can Big Will save himself? He goes 17.1. He is P10. He is now the driver at risk. Sambo has just started a lap. Tom Gorian now on a lap. Can Tom Gorian improve? He needs to improve by near enough 2 seconds to knock Big Will
Getting
out
that
of
toe
quali.
off of that Red Bull.
And you know what? At it stands, he's 2
he's
seconds
up.
up. He is up.
Yeah, he's up.
This could be Will out of qualifying. Can Tom Gorian line up sector 3 as well as he's lined up sectors 1 and 2? Coming into the chicane now comes Tom Gorian. Don't want to get too close to the outside curbs around these final 2 corners. Run up to the line now for Tom Gorian. He goes P5. That is Big Will
Great
out
lap
of
for Tom
quali.
Gorian.
Papa Goose jumps up to P9. See what Sambo can do. Sambo's invalidated. Sambo has invalidated. Is Will going again?
He may have done, you know.
Is Will going again?
He is
He's not.
got a lot of VRS left.
There's a lot of VRS left in that car. I think Will is going to just put it into the pits. Yeah, he is. And that is going to bring us to the end of quali. 5 drivers leaving us in Q2 are Semper HD, SC Christo, TM Kirby, TS Sambo, and TS Big Will. Semper is in chat. I kept invalidating. Gotta try and stay off those curbs, bro. Those curbs is horrible here at Barcelona. They will not look out for you in any way, shape or form. That's because Lesko comes into his pit box now. And that is going to bring us to the end of Q2. Any shocks in there?
It looks like them. I mean, I hope that Samba and you know, Big Will would have been a little bit further up, especially considering he was on the softs. JEEEZZA down in 8th after winning last week. You know, again, you'd have thought he'd have been just that little bit closer to his teammate like he were last week. Of course, Ryan standout time again. That's not a shock, obviously, though.
Papa Goose in the Haas. 2 weeks in a row now. He's got himself into Q3. He's got himself into that top 10 shootout. Going to be starting on those soft tyres, though. Only person inside the top 10 to be starting on those softs. How do you think that's going to play into his strategy, Swayze?
I don't know. I mean, especially if everybody else who does get free tyre choice opts to start on the mediums, I mean, that would put him the only driver starting on the softs. So, the one thing I think he would need to be able to get through the traffic fast, because you need to be able to try and optimize that tyre while you're on it, and being stuck behind a bunch of people that are going to be going longer than you, not good. So,
Cam's in
definitely
chat.
needs to.
Cam in chat. Got to be some mega lap to stop Ryan getting pole. You're not wrong, Cam. Going to have to be an absolutely barnstorming lap here for someone to get pole position from ConstantRyan, who has topped the timing screens in Q1 and Q2.
Can he beat his Q1 time? Can he go faster than the 14.4K?
I mean, it's ConstantRyan. Anything can happen. I'm going to say... I don't think he will. I think he'll match it. I don't think he'll better it. I honestly don't think he'll better it. I think he'll match it.
14.327.
Is that your prediction? 14.327.
Yeah. Yep.
So there we go. That's Swayze's prediction for a pole position time at 14.3. Will get you pole. Let's see, Jake is the first one out on track. And we will stay with Fuck You Jay as he comes up the hill. Similar to we did in Q2. We'll ride on board with Fuck You Jay for his lap. Maddie in chat, yes, Gatton Q3 boy. That is, of course, talking about his teammate, Mr. Papa Goose AG7 in the Haas. And with back-to-back races, he's got himself into Q3. He's relatively new to SFR. He's only been with us for a few weeks. If I remember rightly, he made his debut in Austria. So he's only been with us for 3 weeks. But he's put a good shine out for himself, hasn't he, Swayze?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a great impact on the league so far. You know, he's done, like you said, done well. He's getting himself into the points quite regularly. He's having good qualifying at the moment. You know, hopefully he's enjoying the experience as well, being on track with the guys, and considers coming back.
Hopefully, unfortunately, Fucky J did invalidate his lap time, so we'll jump onto the other Alfa Romeo this evening, Dom the Noodle, who has been able to set a sector one time. His lap is still going at the moment. You see, everyone is out on track. Some on hot laps, some on out laps. We've got Leclerc and Tongorian still on out laps with a lot of clean air for Tongorian. See, as Dom the Noodle now comes up to turn 10 of Lacacia. Obviously, we'll go purple. He's the first person to set a lap time here in Q3. Now through the final sector here in Catalunya. See what that benchmark time is to beat. Swayze did predict a 13.4 will get you pole. It's not going to be a 13-4 for Dom the Noodle. It's going to be a 16-0 though.
Instead of 14-3.
Oh, sorry, 14-3, sorry. The ConstantRyan goes in with a 14-5.
It's just over a tenth slower than
What you predicted.
really was in Q1.
Was,
yeah. He was a 14-4 in Q1. So
Yeah.
we know he can go faster.
Vapicoot with a 15-3, JEEEZZA with a 16-082. Those are the lap times set so far. We've got Tom Gorian coming through sector 3 now. KieranWright92 did unfortunately invalidate his lap time. Papagoose came in with a 17-0. It's P5 for Papagoose in the Haas at the moment. See what Tom Gorian can do as he rounds the final corner. Run up to the line now for the racing point of Tom Gorian. Goes P3 with a 15-9. Next person across the line is going to be Leclerc. See what TeS Leclerc can get up to. Rounding that final corner now. Leclerc crosses the line with a 15-3. That is P3. Moves Tom Gorian down to P4. A little bit of traffic there. See what KieranWright92 is up to. Looks to be a valid lap time for KieranWright92 at the moment in the Mercedes, so we'll see what he can get up to.
Definitely worth keeping an eye on because A driver can always spring a surprise and has done with his qualifying results in recent.
Here we go, coming around Catalonia, the final corner here. Oh, we've got someone off. I think that was Fuck You Jay, KieranWright92 broke. I think he slowed his time then. Purposely slowed his time.
I don't know. He may have saw the yellow flags and reacted.
Potentially, that yellow flag was for Fuck You Jay, just ran a little bit wide out of T2. I think he was just trying to give Cam a little bit of space because I think they both left the pits at the same time. See, Tom Gorian comes into the pits. KieranWright92 is obviously coming through sector 1 now. Leclerc, I'm going to assume he's going to come into the pits. He is much slower on that time. Yeah, there he goes. Leclerc coming into the pits now. I think we'll see KieranWright92 go again. We'll have a look at his split time at sector 2. I mean, it is 1.8 seconds slower, so he will probably be coming into the pits now. But we'll jump on board with Cam. We'll see what Cam can do. Swayze said 14-3 will get your pole, Cam. See what you can do, boy. Right on board with the other Mercedes driver. He's seen his teammate go P4. Cam was in the chat earlier on saying he feels that he can upset the uppercut. Could potentially prevent ConstantRyan from getting
purple sector 1
the title. The purple in sector 1. Mr. Leclerc is back in the chat. Welcome back, Jamie. Ooh.
Oh.
That looked like a little,
That's where
a little twitch.
that's where ConstantRyan is so good. He manages to maintain speed at the areas where the car is at most unstable, and you feel like just that tiny little correction, even if you just catch it as fast as what Cam did then, right? You know, when you multiply that 3 or 4 times throughout the lap, even a millisecond catch, where Ryan's not having that and he's so smooth, that's where I feel where he gains his time. Look, there's another one, look, just then, on the exit of that one for Cal. That's at least 2 in that one lap.
Cam crosses the line, 15-2. That is P2 for Cam. It's front row of the grid as it stands.
Take those 2 twitches off, and maybe a 50, you know, you're edging down to 15-1 for sure. If there was any more than that, you know, yeah, and that's, I definitely feel that's where Ryan's making his time.
Yeah, most
Just
definitely.
being in his smoothness.
Most definitely. Alfie, sorry I've been lurking watching the football, trying to clear my head. 1-0 Spain, for those who are wondering what the football score is at the moment. Spain versus Poland. Latest score is 1-0 to Spain. Thank you for that, Alfie.
Did Germany play today? Sorry, I don't really follow the football.
Yes, it didn't. They beat Portugal.
Was it Portugal? Oh, they won, did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, JEEEZZA is on a hot lap, has just started one. We'll ride with JEEEZZA in the AlphaTauri. Last week's race winner, of course, in Canada. You do want to go back and watch that stream. It is available on the SFR YouTube channel. Just go onto YouTube, search for Supreme Formula Racing. All of the races since, I think, Hungary was the first one we put up. Or Austria, maybe? No, Austria, I think it was. Everything from Austria has been uploaded to the YouTube channel now. And they will continue to be done so into Season 5 and beyond. Whilst you're over there, be sure to drop a little subscription over to the channel as well. Once we can get to 100 subscribers on the YouTube channel, we will be able to get a custom URL. So you'll be able to search youtube.com/Supreme Formula Racing to get to us. So that get to that point, we need those 100 subscribers on the YouTube channel, guys. JEEEZZA goes
Place for
P5.
JEEEZZA.
See what Fuck You Jay can get up to. He's the next person to be setting a lap time. And of course, on the note of subscriptions, if you guys have got Amazon Prime, you are able to get a free subscription on Twitch, courtesy of Amazon. You would be considerate enough as to use it on the SFR channel. We would be greatly appreciated. It will also give you the ability to use the SFR emote, which I've just put in chat there. Because why not?
Spam.
So Fuck You Jay does unfortunately invalidate his lap time there.
So I'm lucky for Fuck You Jay.
JEEEZZA, I'm going to assume, is on a go slow, but JEEEZZA has also invalidated his lap time.
Yeah, I would have thought he'd have been on an in-lap as well, though.
See who's the first person to cross the line.
Well, 2 minutes has just ticked by.
As indeed. I don't know who the next person. Papa Goose is going to be the first person to set a lap time here on these final runs. There we go. Alfie's just dropped the SFR YouTube channel into the chat there. If you guys do want to jump over onto the YouTube channel, drop it a subscription whilst you're over there as well. So we are on that path to 100 subs on YouTube. Whilst we are watching Papa Goose run his final quali run, do a little bit more housekeeping. ACC, SFR ACC coming very, very soon. We're just waiting for a few more drivers to sign up and then we are good. Thank you for subscribing to the SFR YouTube channel, Alfie. It's greatly appreciated. See what Papa Goose does as he comes around through sector 3. He's going to have a big wobble coming up the hill.
Fuck me sideways.
See what Papa Goose can do
Sorry.
through the chicane.
I was just watching your man that can, that ConstantRyan doing ConstantRyan thing, and he was 1 point, he was just over a 10th up already in sector 1.
See what he can
Alone.
do. We've got.
So it's just down to under a 10th now, 0.93, but he is still up.
We're going to jump to KieranWright92, who is ahead of ConstantRyan. We'll see what KieranWright92 can do on his lap. Into the final 10 seconds now of qualifying. I don't think Fuck You Jay is actually going to cross the line in time. KieranWright92 goes P5. ConstantRyan, does he improve? 14.4. He's matched what he did in quali. He's matched what he did in quali.
He lost a bit of time. I reckon he could have done it. I reckon he could have pulled with a 14.3.
Cam goes P2.
A very good effort. Very good effort from Cam there as well. He is on track at the moment. Where is Tom Goring? Is invalid.
Tom Goring has invalidated. Fuck You Jay has unfortunately not been able to set a time in Q3. Don the Noodle has gone slow. Papa Goose has had a big twitch there as he comes through the final few corners. Rapid goes P3 with a 15.3. Can Papa Goose improve? He stays P9 with a 16.3. Don the Noodle comes into the pits. Because Lesco and Leclerc, I think, are also both going to come in. So it's ConstantRyan on pole here in Spain.
It is. and there's a car in between him and Vapid. Not what Vapid is going to want to see at the start of this Grand Prix. Just a shitload of Williams sat on the grid in front of him.
It's not going to be nice for Vapid having to look at the gearbox of ConstantRyan whilst he's sitting on the grid. 21:01 start time from Mr. TeS Leclerc.
I mean,
We just wait
hopefully,
for everyone to come into the pits, and then we will get ready for the race.
hopefully, I think we'll see some good racing throughout. I mean, we've got good groups around. I think we'll see some tight racing between, from JEEEZZA to Tom Gorin, and between the top four as well. I think we'll be interlocked between their own little battle. I think we might have two little groups of four going off at each other, and then obviously, of course, further down the field as well with Papa Goose and Fark J and Dom the Noodle.
Indeed. So ConstantRyan is the man on pole. Cam joins him on the front row. Vapacute in third. TeS Leclerc fourth. Let's go fifth. JEEEZZA in sixth. Tom Gory in seventh. Dom the Noodle in eighth. Papa Goose starts ninth, and Fark J doesn't set a time in Q3 and will start in P10. Cam's in chat. Only way I can get him now is the start. It is indeed Cam. So, ladies and gents, we are about to get ready for qualifying. Sorry, not for qualifying. We've just finished qualifying. We're going to get ready for the race now.
Yes, we'll do that.
21:01 start time. So we've got about 4 minutes, guys, before we do get underway here in Catalonia. So what myself and Swayze are going to do is we're going to go and have a little comfort break. We're going to leave you with the SFR intro one more time, and hopefully by the time the SFR intro is done, I will be back and we will get ready for the race. So we shall be back in just a second, ladies and gentlemen. And
Went to
there
the
we
girls'
go,
room.
ladies and gentlemen, just in time. 21:01 is the time on your screens. We are back. We are ready for the Spanish Grand Prix here. Round number 18 of 20 here in Season 4 of SFR.
It is undetermined as of yet, but there is a likelihood that I will be on track in at least
Woo-hoo-hoo!
one league.
Swayze! Look at tyres, bro! SFR has done the unthinkable. SFR has started on the hard. He has started on the hard. I knew he was up to something when he just posted in the chat, shush, sneaking a magic tyre strat. SFR HD starting this race on the hard tyre.
I'm calling it magic. I guess we'll see. Only time will tell.
But with him starting on the hard tyres, when do you think
I mean, he's got nothing to lose though.
Do you think he goes mediums?
He's got
Or do you just try and hold him for as long as possible and go softs?
lap 14 to 16 for mediums, it's saying. So that's putting. Let's see here. About 19. I don't know. I think maybe 19, 20. Maybe ignore the softs and then just run the mediums because they'll be faster throughout, and rather than risk the softs going off the cliff and having to pit for a second set. It's plausible. I mean, you know, lighter car at the end, you can push it more. And definitely got potential to gain places on people around him with Krista and Matty, Kirby, Sambo. All these people are not known to have the best of luck sometimes in races.
Was a very quick changeover. Have we got 5 red lights on? We have indeed got 5 red lights. Here we go in Spain, and we are underway. Lights out and away we go. ConstantRyan gets off to a really, really bad start here. Cam has jumped him from the start. Fantastic start by Cam, but Ryan's going to look to try and come back. Is Cam going to hold the lead into T1? He does indeed hold the lead into turn 1. WRS Cam said he needed to make something happen on that first lap at the start, and is exactly what he's done.
Oh shit!
Oh, something big's happened at the back. Dom the Noodle.
Dom going off. There was an Alfa Romeo went flying.
Dom the Noodle.
There's a horse off track as well.
Dom the Noodle has gone. Matty is back down there as well. Kirby's gone off as well. Sambo's falling down the wayside as well, dropping a few positions.
Semper's up to 10th, mate, on them hards right now.
Semper HD has pulled off the greatest start of his life. Started in P15, up to P10 now on those hard tyres.
No damage, that's what he needs. He just needs to keep it out of trouble, keep going. Remember, he's playing the long game here.
He is indeed. Papa goes up to up to P8, goes up 1. A quick look at the position changes.
Papa Goose needs to lock onto the back of that Mercedes in front of his Let's Go and really home in. If he can get it done before DRS, all the better. Right? He'll make it harder for his Let's Go to defend being on the harder compound of the two cars.
Will indeed Kirby and Noodle come into the pits. I'm assuming this is going to be for wing damage. Kirby comes in, is new wing going onto Kirby's car, and a new wing going onto Don the Noodle's car as well. The timing glitch temporarily gives Matty the lead of the race. You probably should know, ladies and gentlemen, Matty unfortunately does not have the lead of the Grand Prix. It's Cam with the
Tell you
lead
what,
of the Grand Prix. Cam
Sambo
up
is right up the arse of Big Will. He's right up the arse of Semper at the moment. He's trying his best on the advance to try and chase Far QJ. It's brilliant in the midfield.
Yeah, we will have a watch of Semper's view. You can see behind him, you can see those cars behind him trying to keep that 10th place at the moment. Dom and the Noodle going onto the soft tyres. Kirby moving onto the hards, following that lap 1 pit for damage for both of those drivers. Leclerc getting close to Tom Gorian. See what Leclerc is able to do. Oh, it's not, so not Tom Gorian, so he's getting close to Matthew Coop. Tom Gorian just behind. We are now on lap 3. DRS has now been enabled. You're within a second of the car ahead. Cam's already broken.
1 point, yeah. He did say in the chat he needs to do this at the start, and that's exactly what he's done.
Yep, Cam did say he needs to do something big at the start of this Grand Prix to make something happen, and it's exactly what he's done. Sambo is getting so close to Will now. We'll jump on board with Sam. Has a little look, decides against it for now. He's just going to look to try to stay as close as he can to that Renault of Big Will. Look to try and make the move up the hill of around the corner of turn 9 on the run up to turn 10.
Semper's still trying to heat those tyres up with Jaws. I know we're 3 laps in, but it's quite a short lap here. I feel like, they take a good 3 laps to get heating, and then about another 2 laps to really start to feel like they're starting to come on.
Yeah, definitely there. Semper looking to try and get some heat into those tyres, trying to see if he can get these tyres going the way he needs them to. At the moment, though, he's holding off Will pretty well. But for how long as the cars come around now? This final corner.
I'm going under pressure for those. I feel like he's going to be under pressure for those first 5 or 6 laps, but after that, they may have a better chance, but Will is going to make the move, I think.
He does indeed, makes that move on Semper. Sambo really gains with a rate of knots there, unable to make a move just yet. Vapid Coup has been jumped by Leclerc.
Semper did not have DRS there, where the other 2 did.
Leclerc up to P3. Vapid Coup drops to P4. That is not going to help Vapid. Vapid is going in the wrong direction. Jump on with Kizlesko, who's within 3/10 of JEEEZZA. Looks to potentially try and line up a move on the run to turn 10 for this Mercedes driver of Kizlesko. And a lovely battle with JEEEZZA last week in Canada. No moves done just yet, though. Fuck you, Jay picks up the first penalty.
Kizlesko almost thought about it there, because JEEEZZA went very deep when he locked up there.
The yellow flag in sector 3. Someone's gone off. That fuck you, Jay. It is fuck you, Jay. Oh, big damage on that Alfa Romeo as well. Big damage for fuck you, Jay in that Alfa Romeo. Expect to see him come into the pits and change those.
Oh, Cristo up the inside of Sandro around the final corner. That was insane.
What a move by Cristo. Cristo up into P11, overtakes Sambo as we thought. Fucky J does come into the pits. Try and repair that damage. Jump back up to the...
I don't think Sambo saw that coming.
I don't think Sambo saw it. Well, I mean, I didn't even see it coming either, so... Fantastic move by Cristo. He has picked up a time penalty as well, though, for his troubles.
He has indeed.
Oh, so's Cam!
So has Cam. That is major impact there at the top of this.
That's not going to help Cam.
It definitely is not. There's a long way to go as well yet.
Farkujay moves onto the medium tyres again. Another set of mediums going onto Farkujay's car. Going to look to see what we've got battles wise. No real battles going on at the moment. The closest one is this one we're watching on stream at the moment between Vapid Coup and TeS Leclerc. Excuse me. Vapid really needs to get past Leclerc as quickly as he possibly can. Trying to close up that gap to ConstantRyan, which currently sits at 1.2 from Leclerc to ConstantRyan.
I'll tell you somebody who is gaining pretty rapid, and that is JEEEZZA on Kizlesko.
KieranWright92 did get that move done on JEEEZZA, moves himself up into P6. JEEEZZA looking to try and come back now. We're going to jump to Cristo, as he's getting close to Semper as well. Coming up through the S's in Sector 1. Cristo not able to make any moves just yet. 9 wonderful people in the SFR family watching this stream, watching this battle unfold here in Spain. For those who are watching, thank you for your continued support from all of us here at SFR.
And the lift for Vapid as he went round that right hand just before the DRS, you can really tell the fuel weight is having an effect there on the speeds that they were running from qualifying.
Cristo has a massive moment as well coming out of turn 9. He's able to hold on to it for now. He is still able to stay with Semper. No such move made yet though. See what JEEEZZA's up to. JEEEZZA able to potentially get a move done. In fact, we're going to jump back down to Samba because to Cristo, sorry. Oh, goes into the back of Semper.
Contact.
He's gone into the back of Semper. That is end plate damage for Cristo. Woo! Big onto the grass there.
Samba went into the back of the Red Bull as well.
And that's not going to help. Papa Goose comes into the pits on lap number 6. What's going to go onto his car? It's going to be a new front wing and some medium tyres. Potentially some damage there for Papa Goose as well.
There's bits of carbon fibre flying around.
Jump back to JEEEZZA because he is the closest to making a potential overtake, closely followed by Vapid, who's looking to make a move on Leclerc, but we are going to watch Leclerc's teammate here, JEEEZZA. Obviously last week's race winner in Canada. Unable to make a move just yet on the Mercedes. These two continuing their battle from last week in Canada. JEEEZZA was the man that came out on top last week. KieranWright92 looking for that little moniker of revenge, so to speak. Trying to make sure that he finishes ahead of JEEEZZA this time around. Vapid within half a second of Leclerc with DRS. He has a little look, decides against it though. Just going to look to try and tuck in behind the other AlphaTauri.
Is he going to go the long way? Or
JEEEZZA, oh, no such move yet.
Thought about it. He really thought about it because KieranWright92 was going to said to him, you know, if you're going to go for it here, mate, you're going the long way round.
JEEEZZA definitely did have a think about it, but in the end did think that discretion was the best part of valor. Decides not to go for that move.
Good defensive driving as well by KieranWright92. Knew that he may have been vulnerable and knew that, you know, forcing the driver onto the outside was going to give him the better line and the better chance at maintaining that position.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of KieranWright92's strongest traits. The fact of how strong of a defensive driver he actually is. We saw it last week in Canada when he was battling with Tom Gorian. He's very, very good at defending his car, defending his line, and trying not to cause any real issues for himself here. As we've got potentially a little bit of a battle between the two Haas drivers here. Papa Goose trying to make a move on his teammate.
A little bit of a slide there for KieranWright92 on the exit of the final corner. Is going to make him really vulnerable. JEEEZZA's going to have a go this time, that's for sure. He's alongside. He's going to go around the outside if he wants it.
Gets that move done. Does JEEEZZA? JEEEZZA up to P6 now. Leading the battle between himself and KieranWright92, the continuation from last week. Papa Goose did make that move on Matty, so that is now Papa Goose up 12th. Matty down to 13th on debut here. Big lock up there by JEEEZZA though, as he starts to come down the hill. He has got KieranWright92 right behind him. We're going to stick with this battle for now, but we are also keeping an eye on that gap between Vapid and Leclerc. If that starts to get a little bit spicy, we'll jump up to that battle for P3.
I do have my eye on that for you, Kieran.
Thank you very much, Mr. Swayze. Watching here, JEEEZZA is able to hold on to KieranWright92. Stay ahead of him, but for how long is the question? Half a second is currently the gap separating these two cars. We are on lap 10 now of 33. Can just crosses the line, our race leader. And of course, he does have that 3-second time penalty. 3 people with penalties at the moment. Fuck you, Jay, Christo, and Cam are the 3 with penalties as it stands. Just let's go. Did have a little look. Decides against it.
This could be won or lost in the pits at the moment between these drivers in contention for podium. The decision now whether to go for the undercut, whether to go for the overcut. What's your opponent going to do? Those pit windows within 4 laps now. All that's going to be playing on their mind.
Hard tyres and a new front wing onto Christo's car. He has come into the pits. Try and deal with that damage. Let's still trying to be ever closer to JEEEZZA. Unable to make a move on him just yet. Christo dropping down the order now. Yes.
Knowing that you're on the softer compound, you're on the mediums, and that you're going onto the hards, do you go for the undercut, knowing that you're going onto the hards, or do you stay on the mediums as long as possible, knowing that they're a faster tyre, but you know they're running near the end of their life? It's an easy decision when we're talking with mediums and softs, and
yeah,
you know
definitely
that way. But
the medium to hard is a much harder conversation to much harder decision to make, I should say. And if you want to make an impact, you could pull the risk. Risk equals reward, as we have said many times before. Try and pull that undercut. See if you are able to. I mean, perfect example. Semper obviously starts on those hard tyres, pulling the ultimate undercut, so to say. Currently up into P9.
And running well, not that far behind Will, still maintaining Sambo behind him at this present moment in time. Expect Sambo to be going to at least 19, I think, before switching tyres.
You've heard it here first from Mr. Swayze. Dom the Noodle looking to make a move on Matty. Down the straight, does make that move on Matty with the DRS. That is Dom the Noodle up into P12 in that Alfa Romeo. We're going to jump back to KieranWright92. Still carrying on this battle with
ConstantRyan is under a second now on Cam.
Yeah, ConstantRyan has been able to close that gap within a second.
I can't stay on board with him because he's got that stupid engine rev glitch now.
You can see Cam ahead of him now. 9/10 is the gap. We're dropping down to 8/10. Papa Goose picks up a 3-second time penalty. Have a look at the ERS, 22% on ConstantRyan's car. Cam has nothing. There is zero, near enough zero in that battery for Cam. He is really dumping that battery as much as he can to try and get away from ConstantRyan. Try and get that seconds gap again to get ConstantRyan out of DRS range. I think the longer ConstantRyan is in that DRS range of Cam, the sooner it's going to be that Ryan makes that move. You can see the gap there. ConstantRyan doesn't get DRS for that run to T10. The Cam was able to break that second. He has been able to break it, but it's very close between staying within that second and dropping out of it. Cam needs to make sure his lines are absolutely perfect. You can see now, though, that ConstantRyan is so strong in this third sector. He is going to get DRS on Cam. Is he going to look to try and catch up to Cam?
I think he's too far back to think about a move.
He's way too far back to think about a move. I think now it's just a case of trying to close the gap. Try and just get as close as he can to Cam for now. Vapid. Within half a second of the clear.
Closing the gap.
Here we go, the first of the medium runners into the pits. It's KieranWright92, comes onto the hard tyre. That is the undercut from KieranWright92. Undercut on JEEEZZA. Activated there by KieranWright92 in the the Mercedes, sorry. We haven't got any Ferraris driving tonight. Have no A. Jackson or Kira, unfortunately, unable to race this evening. But hopefully we'll have those guys back next week for Baku. They do know that is one of A. Jackson's favourite tracks. Semper picks up the time penalty. Sambo in the pits now. On those hard tyres.
Just watching Rapid, who seems to fall back a little bit through sector 2. Gains quite a lot through the
Big wall,
after
3
start
seconds.
finish straight.
Yeah, I've started to notice that as well. Vapid seems to get it down to about 4 tenths.
Leclerc is in. Leclerc is in.
And
Cam
Cam's
is
in.
in.
Cam is in as well. Going to be hard tyres onto both of these cars, I'm assuming. Hards onto Cam's car. We'll just see if Leclerc is going to do the same thing. And it is hard tyres onto Leclerc's car as well. JEEEZZA jumped his teammate. Tom Gorian also into the pits onto the hard tyre. We shall see what happens. We are starting to reach the pit window now. Lap 14 of 33 here in Catalonia. 4 seconds the gap between ConstantRyan and Vapid Coupe. At the moment, ConstantRyan will put another 7 points on Vapid, but it will not end the season. But there is a yellow flag.
Oh, Tom Gorian's round. Tom Gorian's round.
It is Tom Gorian in the
Those
wall.
fresh,
Those fresh hards are not going to
those
help
hard
him now.
tyres, yeah. Just not warmed up enough yet. Pushed a little bit too hard, too soon.
Cam picks up another penalty though. That is not going to help him dom the noodle into the pits. Coming off of those soft tyres now. He's going to put a set of medium tyres on now. Can he run the mediums here? ConstantRyan's in. Vapid follows him. Does JEEEZZA come into the pits as well? Let's see, is JEEEZZA going to come in? JEEEZZA does come in. So we now need to keep an eye on Cam. Can Cam get out ahead of ConstantRyan? Hards going on to Vapid Coupe and ConstantRyan's cars. Let's see what happens. Can Cam get out ahead of ConstantRyan? Yes, he can! Was it an undercut? Well, technically not, because Cam was ahead of ConstantRyan. We'll see what the gap
He
is.
was. Where is JEEEZZA? KieranWright is coming down the straight. KieranWright
Jumps him.
make the undercut work.
The
Yeah,
undercut has worked for KieranWright. KieranWright in the middle of an AlphaTauri sandwich at the moment. And I will say it, Swayze. The gap between Cam and ConstantRyan when Cam boxed was about, what, 8 tenths? It's now 1.2. So Cam has actually put about 3-4 tenths of a second on ConstantRyan by running that a little bit earlier.
Who's going to be better on this hard tyre? Who's going to warm it up better? Who's going to treat it better throughout the races? I mean, there's many different ways to run it. You can run it hard, or you can run it soft and then run it hard towards the end.
Indeed, but we will have a look at that penalty situation because you did notice it earlier. Cam does pick up another 3-second time penalty, so Cam's currently sitting on 6 seconds worth of penalties. That is not going to help WRS Cam in any way, shape nor form.
Semper currently in 7th place. Remember, he's going to be coming out on that medium tyre.
He is indeed coming out on that faster tyre when he does pit. Currently in 7th place. Kirby picks up a 3-second time penalty now. Not going to help
3
Kirby's
laps, I
rest.
think, for Semper.
Swayze is predicting lap 19 as a box for Semper. We shall see what happens. ConstantRyan back within a second of Cam now. JEEEZZA within 3/4 of a second of KieranWright.
C4QJ there on the back of Sam, or trying his best to try and keep up with Sambo.
So yellow flag in sector 1. There's damage to Tom Gorian again. There's some end plate damage there. Tom Gorian.
I
in the
did see
racing
him
point.
ghosted as I caught on to him a minute ago, yeah. Didn't see what he did, but...
Oh,
he's off. He's
big
off.
moment for Tom Gorian. And he's retired. He is retired from the session. Not the best race for Tom Gorian, unfortunately. And it's not going to help. He's going to pull off to the side of the road. And that is a DNF for Tom Gorian. We have got yellow flags in sector 2, obviously, because we have got that car of Tom Gorian. Okay, it has been removed now. We're going to jump up to Leclerc, who's looking to line up a move on
safety car. Do you know
Vapid.
who the winner of the day would have been then? Semper.
That would have been, yep, Semper would have been the big winner there, had there been a safety car pulled. JEEEZZA looking to make a move on KieranWright into T1! He makes it stick as well. That is JEEEZZA up into P5 ahead of KieranWright92 in the Mercedes. And now JEEEZZA's 9 seconds behind his teammate. We're looking to try and see if he can close that gap to Leclerc. Trying to see if he can get himself back onto another SFR podium. Of course, KieranWright92 is going to look to try and come back at him now. 7/10 the gap between ConstantRyan and Cam. It's a similar sort of gap between Leclerc and Vapid Coot as these drivers are coming through Sector 3. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1.
Ryan is so fast in Sector 3.
QJ having a bit of a moment there through T1, T2. He's able to get the car back on track though. There is ConstantRyan not close enough yet to make a move on Cam. Jump down to
He didn't. I don't think he was really trying there. Maybe calling the car or just waiting a bit to get a bit of charge. Because he didn't follow Cam when Cam went over to the right to declare his intentions. He didn't follow Cam. He didn't stay in the slipstream to try and maximise the speed. So
KieranWright92 though is going to make a move on JEEEZZA. No, not able to make it stick so far. KieranWright92 does lose out to JEEEZZA. JEEEZZA holds on to P5, but for how long? KieranWright92 is really pushing this car, really pushing this Mercedes, wanting to try and get past JEEEZZA as quickly as he possibly can. Surely it's a matter of time.
Again. I mean, these two have exchanged places a couple of times now, but they're pushing each other. You know, obviously these times are brand new, but you know they're planning on taking them all the way to the end of the race, and I don't think you could take them all the way to the end at this sort of pace, constantly pushing each other like this.
FUJ has left the session. Might want to try and get an invite to FUJ if you can, Swayze. As the game hits FUJ, puts him onto the hard tyre. See, is Leclerc going to now try and line up and move on Vapid? He's getting closer, getting ever closer, pulls to the right. Not able to make that move on Vapid Coot just yet though. So Leclerc Vapid Coot holds on to P3. ConstantRyan now within half a second.
Okay, let's go.
Jump through and
so close, JEEEZZA again. Through turn 1 there, in the same position almost as last time.
No such move yet for KieranWright92. No such luck. Papa Goose into the pits on lap 19. Okay, that would be lap 18 for Papa Goose. The tyres are going onto that Haas. Maybe instead of the hards, that's going to be Papa Goose to the end of the race now. We shall see the battle between ConstantRyan and Cam. The head of the field. Of course, Cam has got those 6 seconds worth of time penalties. That is not going to help. At the moment, it's not too bad for Cam. He will only drop 1 place. He will swap places with ConstantRyan and will finish second if the race was to finish now. A lot of work for Vapid to do to try and see if he can close up to within 6 seconds. But Leclerc, is he going to get that move done on Vapid? Vapid's going to look to try and potentially come back. But no, Leclerc has been able to make that move work on Vapid. That is Leclerc up into P3 now. Is Vapid going to look to come back into turn 4? He does not. He does not. That is Leclerc now up to P3. He has now got the challenge to try and catch up to ConstantRyan. You think he can do it twice?
I mean, is the challenge to catch up to ConstantRyan, or is the challenge to catch up to just knock off a few seconds? As you said, Cam has picked up not 1 but 2 penalties, I believe.
Yep, it is 6 seconds worth of penalties for
I could see Cam drop completely off of the podium if he doesn't win by a big enough margin.
The gap at the moment between Cam and Leclerc is 7.8 seconds. TeS Leclerc needs to make a 1.8, 1.9 seconds into ConstantRyan, well, into Cam, I should say, to get that P2 off of Cam.
KieranWright92 and TeS still going at it.
Indeed, we are on lap number 21 of 33 here in Spain.
Do you know what? I'm wondering whether Semper might actually go even longer and consider going onto a hard soft strategy.
But he's in the pits now. Lap 21.
He's in the pits now.
He has just come into the pits.
Definitely got to be medium, surely.
So have a look. We will have a look and see what is going on. It is mediums onto Semper's car. KieranWright92 still ever closer to JEEEZZA, not able to make that move on him again just yet. Kirby's also coming into the pits. So it's going to be Kirby, I'm assuming, onto mediums as well.
Semper going to come out in 10th place.
Semper comes out in P10.
Now he's on the fresher medium tyres as well, that softer compound. He hasn't got that much time to make up to Sambo, and you know, we're talking a good 14, well no, what is it talking in a good, yeah, a good, what, 12 laps, 10 laps, 11 laps, somewhere about
11,
that.
12 laps, yeah.
You know, I mean, that's long enough with a compound difference to make, it's not a massive gift to it. We're not talking about 7, 8, 9, 10 second gap. We're talking, it's only 3 to Sambo, and then Sambo's not that, you know, only another 2 to Cristo. So the potential of anywhere up to 7th place, you know, is in realms of possibility for Semper today, for sure.
You also do have to, though, bear in mind, Swayze, that Semper has got that 3-second time penalty as well. So whatever.
But so does Cristo and Big Will.
True. True, if he can get himself up to Cristo and Big Will and potentially even KieranWright92. Could be a bit of a long shot, but if he can get himself up there as well, it's not out of the realms of possibility that Semper could get himself some very, very decent points here in Spain.
We'll see. I'll keep an eye on his progress and see how long it takes him to start closing the gap to Sambo. He doesn't want to have a moment like that one.
The note of closing gaps, though, ConstantRyan has closed up the gap, goes fastest in the Grand Prix so far, pulls to the left. This is for the lead. ConstantRyan takes the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix, passes Cam there on lap 23, and now surely it's only a matter of time before ConstantRyan just speeds away from the rest of this pack. The battle now for Cam is to try and stick with ConstantRyan and extend that gap that he currently holds over Leclerc. Vapid, though, they're getting close to Leclerc. This is, of course, for position. This is for the 3rd spot on that podium. We shall see what happens here. We'll keep an eye on that battle as well as looking at the gap between KieranWright92 and JEEEZZA. Both of those lingering around the 4/10th mark at the moment.
Sorry about that. Headset malfunction there. Had to quickly shut it off and on.
That's alright, not a problem. Vapid now getting ever closer to Leclerc. Can he make that move on the AlphaTauri down the main straight? Of course, Leclerc is going to get DRS from Kirby, but it is going to help Leclerc. Is Vapid going to be able to get close enough to Leclerc, though, now that Leclerc has DRS? I don't think he is. We'll jump back to KieranWright92 as they are, KieranWright92 and JEEEZZA are now crossing the final corner. Crossing the line now, KieranWright92 with DRS. Not close enough to JEEEZZA to make a move yet. With a little look, lets JEEEZZA know he's there. No moves made just yet.
There's a lot going on at the moment. Rapid's still piling the pressure on Leclerc though.
Indeed, indeed. He is piling on that pressure. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3.
Tell you what, Cam's refusing to let Ryan go.
Indeed. Vapid, KieranWright92 still ever closer. Not able to make the move on JEEEZZA yet though. ConstantRyan leads the Grand Prix, lap 25 of 33. We have got 9 laps to go. 8 laps to go. 9 laps to go.
Impressive straight line speed by Cam.
Cam does seem to hold some very... Oh, that's going to change things, though. Cam has just picked up his 3rd penalty. That is Cam now with 9 seconds of penalties. As it stands, Cam is going to drop to P4. Cam is now out of the podium. Cam needs to bridge another second to Leclerc.
Oh. Of course, it's possible. Where's JEEEZZA? How far back is JEEEZZA? It's still quite a way back. Okay, no, because Let's Go isn't gonna get... No, not there. Oh, wow. They're still going at each other because Let's Go and JEEEZZA. DRS, is he going to attempt it down here into the braking? He's having a look to the outside. He is. He's going to send one up the inside into the hairpin. What a move!
He makes it stick as well. Fair play, kids. Let's go.
What a move!
Kids, let's go up to P5. Fantastic move there. By the Mercedes.
I thought he was a bit too far back there. I didn't think he was actually going to go for one. He just popped it up the inside, dead late on the brakes.
Yeah,
nicely done.
Fantastic move there.
Of course, JEEEZZA's going to have DRS to come back at him down this start-finish straight. And look at this, look how easy it is to get back in front. All that work because Let's Go did, and the spectacular overtake, and JEEEZZA just straight line speed once, straight back.
Does indeed. That's JEEEZZA back up to P5. Vapid now. Still trying to get past Leclerc. Of course, this is the battle for position. Cam, within half a second or so, of actually breaking that penalty gap to Leclerc. If Cam can keep pushing, ConstantRyan is pretty much checked out now. ConstantRyan has a 2.2 second lead over Cam. Cam needs to get that gap between himself and Leclerc to 9 seconds or more. If he can do that, Cam will hold on to second place. If not, he will lose it.
He's going to almost run back on the inside. This is interesting.
Oh, we've lost Kirby in the pits. Kirby has unfortunately DNF'd. Does Matty need another invite? He's left the session.
Just a picked up DRS from the ghost of Dom, who's tried to lap himself. But in the mid corners where JEEEZZA is a lot faster, it just blunts his vision, and Kizlesko gets right up behind him, which makes this battle super interesting.
Does indeed. Back up again. There we go. Got the stream back up again.
I think Dom should have enough speed to be able to pull away from these two, though, being on that fresh set of softs. Of course, looking at that now, who's around? JEEEZZA's 15 seconds back. Who's got time? Who's got time? 21 seconds back to Will. Just let's go in the battle for points. Yo, we don't. Big Will, 14 seconds clear.
Penalty situations here, but Swayze is currently trying to work out. Cam has 9 seconds.
No, I was trying to work out whether anyone had a big enough gap to try and abandon the position and pull in the, whether it was worth going for the fastest lap. Yeah, from 6th, 7th down to, if any of those was worth. Had a shot at it.
Let's go. Big lock up by JEEEZZA, but is able to hold on to P5. Still, Kizlesko's battling though. This is the penalty situation though, for those who may be wondering. Cam has 9 seconds worth of penalties. As it stands, Cam will drop down to 4th place. Kizlesko with 3 seconds. Big Will with 3 seconds. Christo with 6 seconds.
You see, as it stands, it may not stand that very long.
Semper, Papagoose, and Fuck You Jay all on 3 seconds worth of penalties. As it stands, Christo would lose P8 to Sambo. Sambo is only 5 seconds behind Christo.
Good try from Sambo so far, no penalties.
No.
Kept it out of the wall.
Well, to be fair, it was the same in Canada. Didn't get any penalties in Canada. It unfortunately got a little bit too close to the walls last week. Even though it was getting close, Rapid Coupe got very close to making a move on Leclerc there for P3. Not able to do it. We are on lap number 29. We have 5 laps left of this Grand Prix. ConstantRyan still leads 2 seconds ahead of WRS Cam, with Leclerc in second place, Leclerc in third, Vapid in fourth. Semper picks up another 3-second time penalty. That is not going to help. That is Semper now with 6 seconds worth of penalties.
Yeah, and even on the medium tire, Sambo's speed has proved just a bit too much for him.
Yes, indeed. Vapid has no ERS. He's not able to make an attack on Leclerc yet. We'll jump back to the second battle that has been going on pretty much all race. And that is the battle between KieranWright92 and JEEEZZA. This is your battle for P5. Of course, JEEEZZA does know that KieranWright92 has a 3-second time penalty. So we can also play that into his favour if needs be. Papagoose picks up another 3-second time penalty. That's now Papagoose on 6 seconds worth of penalties. Unfortunately, Manny now a lap down, disconnected from the session. We have tried to get him back in, but no avail yet. KieranWright92 picks up another 3-second time penalty though. That's definitely not going to help him now. He needs to try and get past JEEEZZA now and try and push a gap. He pulls to the right. Is he going to get that move done on JEEEZZA into T1? No, he's hit the rear wheel of JEEEZZA. That sent KieranWright92 around. That's not going to help him.
I was just about to say he's got quite a nice cushion to Big Will that he doesn't need to worry about in 6 seconds too much, but if he's going to do silly things and lose that gap, then obviously he's going to need to start worrying.
It is indeed. The gap between KieranWright92 and Big Will now down to about 15 seconds. KieranWright92 has those extra 3 seconds worth of penalties compared to Will. Still watching that gap between Cam and Leclerc. It's 8.5 seconds at the moment. It needs to be 9 if Cam wants to keep second place. As it stands, the championship will continue to next week. ConstantRyan will score 26 points. I believe he still has the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He does indeed. So ConstantRyan will score 26 points for a first place finish. As it stands, Cam will drop to third, potentially fourth. If Vapid stays P4, that is 12 points for Vapid, which means that ConstantRyan will be putting 14 points between, an additional 14 points, sorry, between himself and the man behind him in second place, and that will mean that there is a 52-point gap with 2 races to go. And with 26 points available for a win in a fastest lap, I'll let you guys do the maths. And I'll let you guys work out what that means going into next week in Baku, should it stay like this.
I'll tell you exactly what that means if you want.
Go for it, Swayze.
It means Vapid would have to win both with the fastest lap in both, and ConstantRyan crash out of both for it to be a tie championship, and or on a win countback or whatever it is.
It would be a tied championship, but I believe that ConstantRyan would win it on countbacks. I think ConstantRyan has won significantly more races than Vapid Coupe has this season.
So even that won't help Vapid. He needs to get past Leclerc as well. He needs to do.
He needs to either get past Leclerc or stay within 9 seconds of Cam. At the moment, it is so close with him 3-4 tenths behind Leclerc, and Leclerc 8.4, 8.5 behind Cam. It is so close for Vapid. He needs to try and stay as close to Leclerc as possible and hope that Leclerc can stay within 9 seconds of Cam. Well, 8.5 seconds of Cam.
His last run at Leclerc down the start-finish straight coming up.
It is indeed ConstantRyan about to start the final lap of the Grand Prix. Crosses the line for the penultimate time. We'll see what Vapid can do now on this track. He's losing so much through that chicane. He gets it to about 4 tenths on the run up to the chicane, then out of the chicane it just drops.
He's got a nice run.
He's got a very nice run, but it's
too
not
far
enough.
back though.
He's too far back. He can't make the move on Leclerc. But now it is damage limitation for Vapid. He just needs to stay as close to Leclerc as possible. As it stands right now, Cam will drop to 4th. Leclerc will inherit 2nd. Vapid will inherit 3rd. JEEEZZA will finish in 5th. Kizlesko has got that gap to Will. He is fine. There are no other real battles going on other than the one between Vapid and Leclerc. Looking at that gap. Oh, looking at that gap. Leclerc has broken a bit of a gap to Vapid. Vapid could be in trouble here. Here we go though. ConstantRyan coming through the final chicane and around the final corner. He is about to win the Spanish Grand Prix. Let's see what Cam does. Here we go. Here is the big thing. Has he been able to bridge enough of a gap to Leclerc and Vapid? Leclerc will take 2nd. But Vapid does not catch him. Vapid stays 4th. Cam gets 3rd place. Vapid in 4th. JEEEZZA is going to come through now.
1.34. Wow. Is that it? Is that the nail in Vapid's coffin?
Is that the final nail in the Vapid coot coffin? We will find out. JEEEZZA crosses the line in 5th. Kizlesko comes to cross the line now in 6th. Big Will now, the next car to cross the line. Semper has got P10. Papagoose in 11th. Dominoodle in 12th. Fuck you, Jay finishing 13th. Matty is about to finish in P14. Unfortunately, did disconnect from the session a little while ago. Will crosses the line in P7. We're just waiting now for Christo and Sambo. Looking at the gap there. In fact, if Sambo can stay within 9 seconds of Christo, which I think pretty sure he will, that's going to be P8 for Sambo, dropping Christo to P9. There it is. Sambo does get P8. Drops Christo down to P9. Semper picking up P10. P10, let's go. Magic Tyre Strat, says Semper in the chat. Christo picks up driver of the day. Do you agree, Mr. Swayze, or are you giving it to Semper?
Fuck off, Kieran. I mean, that's a great drive from Semper. He did really well. You know, he ran a strategy that obviously nobody else ran. Definitely right up there. Do you give it to Semper for the strategy and the drive? Do you give it to Sambo for finally doing the race and not crashing and finishing in the points? Both are rich or high contenders. Yeah, I think I can go with you. I think Semper.
There we go. Semper gets myself and Swayze's driver of the day. But this is your grid, your finishing grid here. ConstantRyan with the win. Leclerc in 2nd, Cam in 3rd, Vapid in 4th, JEEEZZA 5th, Kizlesko 6th, Bid Will in 7th, Sambo in 8th, Christo 9th, and Semper rounds out your top 10. Papagoose, Dom the Noodle, Fuck You Jay, Maddie Gamer, and TM Kirby and Tom Gorian round out the rest of your grid. We will get our podium finishers into the party with us momentarily. We have a chat with our podium places. I hope that Cam finally has a mic. I don't think he will though. I think it might just be.
It's a toss-up Semper for me, honestly.
And, I think
like I said, Semper had a great race.
Leclerc and Ryan that we get in. So we'll jump across to the intro stream quickly, just whilst I get the guys into the party, unless, of course, Mr. Swayze has already invited.
I have not yet, but I will do when the screen appears.
Not a problem,
I'm going to get some of this.
Where is Mr. Leclerc? There he is. There's Mr. Ryan. And I don't know whether Cam has a mic.
I don't know either, to be honest.
We've got the
I'm sure TeS Leclerc will know.
Mr. Jamie. Do you know if Cam has a mic yet? If you give me a quick in here.
Excuse me.
Interview question mark. Let's see. We have been joined by our race winner and our second place driver. We'll just see whether we are going to get anybody else in. Turn up everything that needs to be turned up. There we go. Let's just leave the session, get everything sorted. Let's get national anthems and things sorted as well while we are at it. Jump over to the live screen quickly. And we will go. I know we do currently have a black screen, guys. Bear with me for just a second. Right. I think we are just going to have the two. So what we will do, guys, is we will play the national anthem of the Republic of Ireland for our race winner, ConstantRyan, and that will then be followed by the British national anthem for the Mercedes. For the Williams, sorry, the Williams team. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the Republic of Ireland for our race winner, ConstantRyan, followed by God Save the Queen, the British national anthem for the Williams team. Onto the podium interviews now. We've only got two of our podium with us. We have got our second place and our first place drivers, TeS Leclerc and ConstantRyan. So we will start with TeS Leclerc. Jamie, another P2, mate. How you feeling? Jamie, are you there, mate? Oh, we go. Oh dear. Start with Shane. Oh dear, that is not good. Right, so what we will do, we will move on to our race winner instead. I know Jamie's scoring 100%. So we will start a little bit differently. We will start with our race winner, ConstantRyan. Shane, fantastic race from you again, my friend. Another win. And as it stands, going into Baku next week, you are 1 point away from being crowned the Season 4 Drivers' Champion. That's got to feel good, surely.
Yeah, it was good to bounce back after last week after the, well, not so great race last week after being involved in pointless incidents. But yeah, nice to bounce back this week. The practice went really well, even though I only started practicing today because I thought it was Baku today. But I do know Spain pretty well, so I wasn't too concerned. But yeah, I was really happy with my pole lap, and I knew off the line Cam was going to get me because I saw when I did my first lap in Q3, it told me I was 10th at the speed trap. I was like, oh great, at the slowest car in a straight line. So I was kind of like, okay, if he gets me to start, just sit there and chill out and just maintain P2. And then I just kind of watched Cam for a while, and I noticed towards the end of the stint he was getting a lot of oversteer, so I knew he had a twitchy setup. And my setup was just felt like it was on rails the whole time, so just kind of bided my time. And then I waited till I was right on him towards the end of the race, coming out of the last corner, and just kind of DRS past him, and I knew then he was going to struggle to get me. So yeah, I just kind of brought it home from there. And yeah, it was a good race. It was fun.
Yeah, definitely. Those penalties for Cam probably didn't help either. Cam does finish that race with 9 seconds worth of penalties, which is what has caused him to unfortunately fall down to P3. Of course, the battle between yourself and Vapiku does technically go on for one more race, but the champion, the ask for Vapid is an incredibly tough one. He needs you to not finish the remaining 2 races of the season, and for him to win with the fastest lap. How has your season gone, in your opinion, as a whole?
Really well, apart from Canada. Singapore got disqualified, that went well. And yeah, Australia, those 3 races kind of cost me a bit. Otherwise, I could have been on the podium every race, but look, that's obviously going well now, winning, I think it's my 8th win or something like that. But Vap has kept me very honest and fair. Well done to him and Cam and Leclerc, because them 3 deserve a mention all the time because they're great drivers and sound guys as well. Because sometimes in league racing you come across people that ain't so nice and they're kind of up their own hole with it. But I do like the fact that everyone's super sound when it comes to that. It's like, there is more important things in life. Sorry, everyone.
Oh, stop it, you're making me blush.
No, not you, Jimmy, sorry.
No, fucking shit.
There we go. Moving
Disqualified.
Moving on to Baku next
That
week.
again.
Do you think you've got what it takes to get that last point you need in Baku to have some of a procession at Silverstone in the final race of the season with you crowned drivers champion next week?
I think I should be able to do it quite comfortably, but it's Baku. It is where I won my first ever league race, actually, quite interestingly, a while back now. Good while back, but yeah, it's just a castle section, and there will be safety cars, and the strategy's a bit weird around there. But I think I can definitely, I need 1 point. That's 10th. I think I can pretty much get that if I, use a front wing. I probably could get that. But yeah, let's see what happens. I'm not gonna say, I already have it now. I have it when I mathematically can't be gotten anywhere. So let's wait for that to happen. Baku's just one of those tracks you can never know.
Indeed. Swayze, anything from you, my friend? To our race winner, Mr. ConstantRyan?
Great drive again, Ryan. Sheen. Great drive. Absolutely outstanding lap in qualifying, both in Q1 and in Q3. I mean, you were the man on pace all day today, and it showed. Obviously, Cam got a better start than you and jumped you off the start, but once you got the lead back, you never really looked like losing it.
Yeah, just kind of maintained it and brought it back from there. I got to see the parts where he was stronger than me and whatnot. I was just kind of trying to figure it out, and it kind of, definitely paid off in the end. But well done to him as well. He really kept me honest, and Cam's a great driver, so. Yeah, it was a nice win. I got the fastest lap in the last lap as well. That was quite nice. But yeah, it's a good race.
Well, congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
Indeed. Now we will move on to the man who finished in second place. Mr. TeS Leclerc. Jamie, I know you've not been feeling too well this week, so surely a second place here in Spain is a little bit of a silver lining to your week.
Yeah. Wasn't really expecting second, but it's good to get it. And if another result comes in later on in the week, I'm sure I'll feel a lot better. But that's a different league. This is SFR. I just, not really too much to say about my race, apart from I loved every minute of it. I was battling Vapid, well, for 33 laps. So that was quite fun. And yeah, he deserves a massive shout out there. Definitely kept me honest, and I couldn't pull away from him, but once I got past him twice, he couldn't seem to get back past me into one, so it felt quite good knowing that my defensive skills from Brazil have carried over to Spain.
Yeah, they definitely have. At any point, was there ever a worry that you weren't going to be able to bridge that gap between yourself and Cam to get second place, or were you just more focused on Vapid behind you?
I was kind of keeping an eye on the gap, but if I didn't get the second, then it was still a podium. There was a bit of a worry coming out of the final part of the chicane at the end of the lap. I got a little bit of a wiggle on power, but so did Vapid, which managed to keep me ahead of him. So, other than that, it wasn't too bad. And the only bad thing of my race was on my outlap on the hards, I decided to take turns 7 and 8 normally and then just carry on driving straight towards the wall. Just lost the back end and went on the grass, which lost me about 3 seconds to Cam, and then he just drove off into the distance. So I was kind of keeping an eye on the gap to Cam ahead. We do know Cam enjoys a penalty when he's racing. So I was fairly certain he was going to get another one, but he done enough to keep the podium.
Yeah, he did indeed. I think that little twitch towards the end damaged Vapid a little bit more than he had wanted it to. Unfortunately, it did drop him down to, well, it kept him in 4th, sorry. But next week we are at Baku, a nice little tight technical track, similar to Monaco, which I do know is a track that you are very, very favoured at, Mr. Leclerc. So, how are you feeling going into next week in Baku?
It depends what rubber Pirelli brings, doesn't it? But yeah, I love my street tracks, as you know. Won Singapore this season. Didn't race Monaco for some reason, but yeah, I do love a street track. Baku's Baku, isn't it? Anything can happen.
Indeed, it can. Swayze, anything from you, my friend?
Yeah, no, congratulations, Jamie. A great race from you throughout. Just really, after the second time of finally getting back past Vapid there, was it the face? I did give it the face.
Oh, the smug face, yeah.
Everyone loves the smug
It was
face.
a little bit. It was a little bit. But one thing I would like to add on my first overtake on Vapid around the outside of turn 1 for the inside of turn 2, I was quite pleased with that. So I may have to watch the stream back just to watch that overtake again.
Definitely. Well, congratulations again, mate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys. But that is going to bring us to the end of our broadcast this evening, guys. A massive thanks, as always, to every single one of you who have watched SFR. We will be back next Saturday night from 7:30 p.m. UK time, that is BST, for the Azerbaijani Grand Prix. And as Leclerc has put in chat, big news coming soon. But you have to stay tuned for that. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, from myself, KieranWright92 and TeS Swayze, this has been round 18 of Season 4 in SFR. We will see you next week in Azerbaijan. Thank you for watching, guys. And good night.
Until then, bye.